In a small village in the countryside, surrounded by mountains and golden fields of wheat, there lived a woman named Anna. She was known by everyone as a person of unwavering faith, even in the face of the greatest difficulties. Anna was a widow and the mother of two small children, Lucas and Mariana. Her home was simple, made of wood and clay, but filled with love, hope, and sincere prayers. Anna's life was never easy. Since she lost her husband, she had to work hard to ensure daily bread for her children. She planted a small garden in the backyard, raised some chickens, and sometimes sewed clothes for the neighbors in exchange for food or coins. Despite the challenges, Anna never stopped trusting in God. Every night before going to sleep, she knelt by the bed, held the children's hands, and thanked for the little they had, asking for strength to continue. One morning, however, Anna realized that the flour had run out. She looked at the clay pot and saw only a handful of grains at the bottom. The oil was also running low, and the hens hadn't laid eggs for days. Winter was coming, and the cold wind was already blowing through the cracks of the window. She felt the weight of worry tighten her chest, but as always, she called her children, and together they prayed, asking God for provision and wisdom. On that same day, the village received a visit from a traveler. He was an elderly man, with clothes worn by time and a kind gaze. He knocked on Anna's door, asking for a little water and something to eat. Anna looked at the empty pot, hesitated for a moment, but her heart spoke louder. She remembered the words of Jesus, "Give, and it will be given to you." So, with a gentle smile, she invited the man to come in. She went to the kitchen, took the little flour that was left, mixed it with water and a drizzle of oil, and prepared a small bread. While it was baking, she felt an inexplicable peace, as if an invisible hand were there, comforting her heart. She served the bread to the traveler, who ate gratefully, and then prayed for Anna and her children, asking God to multiply everything she had. After the traveler left, Anna returned to the kitchen to clean, and upon opening the flour jar, was startled. The jar was full, overflowing with white, fragrant flour. The oil container also seemed to have been replenished. Scared and excited, she called the children, who ran to see the miracle. They embraced each other, crying with joy, thanking God for the unexpected provision. The news of the miracle spread throughout the village. Neighbors came to see with their own eyes what had happened. Many were moved, recalling old stories from the Bible, such as that of the widow of Zarephath, for whom God also multiplied the little she had. Anna's faith inspired everyone, and many began to trust more in God, even in the most difficult situations. Over time, Anna's life changed. She continued to help those who knocked on her door, sharing bread, oil, and flour, and there was never a shortage of food in her home again. The miracle was not only the multiplication of supplies, but also of hope and faith throughout the community. Anna became a living example that God takes care of every detail, and that generosity, even when we have little, is always rewarded. This story reminds us that often we look at what we have and think it's not enough. We believe it won't be sufficient to meet our needs or help those in need. But God sees our heart. He knows every tear, every prayer made in the silence of our room, every gesture of love, no matter how small. And it is precisely when we offer the little we have, with faith and generosity, that He performs miracles. How many times have you felt like Anna, worried about tomorrow, afraid of not having enough for yourself or your family? Maybe you look at your job, your finances, your health, and think it's not enough. Maybe you feel like you have no strength, no talents, no hope. But remember, God multiplies the little you give to Him. It doesn't matter the size of your resources, your faith, or your offering. What matters is the willingness of your heart. God invites us to trust in Him, to take the first step, even when everything seems impossible. He is the God of the impossible, the God who transforms small seeds into great trees, who makes the desert a garden, who feeds multitudes with 5 loaves and 2 fish. He is the God who multiplies the little and makes blessings overflow where we least expect. If today you are facing difficulties, if you feel that what you have is little, do not be discouraged. Do like Anna. Place your little in God's hands. Pray, trust, be generous, even if it seems to make no sense. God honors your faith, your surrender, your love. He takes care of you, knows every detail of your life, and is ready to surprise you with miracles. Remember the promise. My God will supply all your needs according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:19. Do not worry about the size of what you have. Just focus on trusting, being faithful, and doing good with what God has placed in your hands. The rest, he will take care of. May this story inspire you not to give up, to keep believing, to be a source of hope for those around you. God multiplies the little you have. He transforms tears into smiles, scarcity into abundance, fear into courage. Surrender everything to him and watch the miracle happen in your life. And if, at this moment, you feel that you need a miracle, close your eyes for a moment. Talk to God. Tell him your pains, your needs, your dreams. He is listening to you. He cares about every detail. And just as he did in Anna's life, he can do infinitely more than you can imagine. Have faith. God is faithful. He multiplies the little you have. May God bless you and your family today and always.